Bali to enter phase 2 on Friday. Walk-in vaccinations in Klang Valley ends 15 September. Hello and good evening. I'm Shuhaida Arifin. Welcome to News at 10. Selangor, Kuala Lumpur and Putrajaya will move into Phase 2 of the National Recovery Plan (PPN) on Friday. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob said the relaxations given are the same as those enforced in other states which have previously entered Phase 2. In a release statement today, Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri said the relaxations include the permission to travel across district for fully vaccinated individuals as well as interstate travels for fully vaccinated long-distance married couples. Parents who have received both doses of vaccine can also travel across states to meet their children aged 18 and below. Fully vaccinated customers are also allowed to dine in at restaurants, while tourism activities are permitted only within the same state. The Premier also stated that Selangor, Kuala Lumpur and Putrajaya are merged as one infection area, thus removing all roadblocks and allowing movements between the three areas. Meanwhile, Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri also announced relaxation of SOP for sports, leisure and recreational activities in Phase 1 states effective from Friday. They include permission for indoor sports activities, excluding gymnasium for fully vaccinated people. Indoor commercial sports and recreational facilities are allowed to operate under supervision, also only for those who have completed the 2-dose vaccination. Labuan has completed 100% vaccination against COVID-19 among its adult population. The statistics which showed that the island's adult population has completed taking the 2 doses of vaccine was issued by Labuan COVID-19 Immunization Task Force (CITF) through Labuan Disaster Management Committee. According to the statistics, there were about 68,500 adults listed as eligible for the immunization program in Labuan. Labuan CITF Chairman Ridwan Ismail said the number of eligible adults being given the vaccine has surpassed the target due to the Labuan CITF policy of inoculating people regardless of their nationality. The vaccine was also offered to the workers from outside Labuan in the shipping and oil and gas sectors. He said thousands of Filipino refugees in the 2 refugee community settlement schemes have also been vaccinated as part of the efforts to mitigate the spread of the COVID-19 infection in the local community. Ridwan added, Labuan CITF is also prepared to conduct the vaccination exercise for adolescents aged 16 and 17 years. Labuan completed vaccinating 80% of its adult population on 27 July and became the first among the federal territories and states in the country to achieve herd immunity against COVID-19. Despite recording the highest number of daily cases today, Sarawak has started to transition from the pandemic to endemic phase as almost all COVID-19 cases reported recently are asymptomatic or showing only mild symptoms. Chief Minister Datuk Patinggi Abang Johari Tun Openg said the COVID-19 vaccination program carried out in Sarawak since February had succeeded in boosting the immune system and reducing the serious effects of the disease.
Saya nak tekankan, kalaulah tak ada vaksinasi, mungkin keadaannya berlainan. You have to understand that once people are vaccinated, they have the power to fight back through vaccination. What we got today is mild lah, kategori 1. Yang sebenarnya kategori 1 saya ada bergejala. Minyaknya berkasih-kasih, batuk-batuk. Tapi tidak serius.
Datuk Patinggi Abang Johari was speaking to reporters after inspecting the vaccination exercise for teenagers aged 16 to 17 at Kampung Telaga Air, about 25 kilometres from the state capital. He said according to health experts, the situation is the same as cholera, severe acute respiratory syndrome and swine flu, which can be fought, leading to a phase called endemic. He added people would have to adapt to live with the virus while having a healthy immune system in the body to protect them. He also said that thus far, Sarawak had achieved 88.9% of the two-dose vaccination for eligible adults, or 65.1% of its entire population. This percentage, he said, would continue to increase as the vaccination program is still ongoing. After Sarawak, the COVID-19 vaccine jabs would be administered to adolescents in Labuan and Klang Valley. Health Minister Khairi Jamaluddin said the COVID-19 Vaccine Supply Access Guarantee Special Committee, JKJAV, has green-lit the commencement of adolescent COVID-19 vaccination. Khairi noted that the first group of 76,400 adolescents in Sarawak between the ages of 16 and 17, including 12 and 15 with chronic medical conditions, would receive their vaccines beginning today. The initiative would then be extended to teenagers in Labuan and Klang Valley who would receive Pfizer vaccine. Previously, COVID-19 vaccination had been limited to those aged 18 and above, as the initial clinical trials of the vaccines were conducted only on adults. However, this has since been extended to those as young as 12 years old, as health authorities aim to vaccinate as much of the population as possible in preparation for treating COVID-19 as an endemic disease. The Ministry of Health MOH, together with the Science, Technology and Innovation Ministry MOSTI, will work together to develop Malaysia's medical technologies, including medical devices and vaccines. Khairi said the cooperation between both ministries is important and will continue even after the end of National Immunisation Program (PICK).
Kita ada vaksin haiwan tapi tidak ada vaksin manusia di Malaysia. Dan ini penting untuk kita memastikan bahawa jika ada keperluan untuk tahun-tahun mendatang, kita tak perlu lagi berunding dan beli daripada luar negara.
Commenting further, Khairi said that Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob had already entrusted MOSTI to develop Malaysia's first own vaccine, adding that his ministry will give full cooperation to the task. He said with the development of local vaccines, Malaysia will no longer have to acquire vaccines from other countries. Khairi also said more medical devices could be developed through the MOH-MOSTI cooperation, including the latest tool for close contact detection that can be used in the country. The COVID-19 walk-in vaccination program in the Klang Valley will end after 15 September. Science, Technology and Innovation Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Adham Babu said the decision was made after taking into account the small percentage of eligible vaccine recipients who have yet to get the COVID-19 jabs, as well as the low presence reported at vaccination centres.
Mengambil kira faktor bahawa kadar penduduk Lembah Kelang yang masih belum divaksinasi ialah amat kecil sekali, yang disaksikan dengan kadar kehadiran yang rendah di PBB. Saya ingin mengumumkan bahawa program vaksinasi secara walk-in di Lembah Kelang akan dihentikan selepas 15 September 2021.
The minister added that starting 16 September, Klang Valley residents who have yet to get vaccinated can get their COVID-19 vaccines at selected health clinics, which would be announced later. He said the walk-in vaccination program will still continue in the states, and the public is advised to follow the latest updates from their state health departments regarding the walk-in program. Meanwhile, Datuk Seri Dr. Adham said, as of yesterday, 69.9% of the total adult population in the country have completed their COVID-19 vaccination. He said as many more Malaysians had received their COVID-19 jabs, the vaccination rate had also declined, which is a good sign. Meanwhile, Datuk Seri Dr. Adham said as of yesterday, a total of 547,595 students of higher learning institutes in the country have been fully vaccinated. He said over 195,000 students of public institutes of higher learning IPTA and 51,000 students of private institutes of IPTS have not registered for COVID-19 vaccination. The minister added that IPTA and IPTS students can go to the walk-in vaccination centres to get the jabs provided that they bring their matriculation card or student card. Health Director General Tan Sri Dr. Noor Hisham Abdullah today said that another 19,733 COVID-19 cases were recorded in the past 24 hours, a bump up from yesterday's 18,574. This also brings the total number of cases recorded in the country past the 1,900,000 mark for the first time, with 1,900,467 cases. Commenting further, the Health DG said Sarawak continues to hold top spot for the highest number of cases recorded at 3,100. The Health Ministry meanwhile said that another 361 deaths from COVID-19 were recorded in the past 24 hours. This brings the cumulative number of deaths in the country past the 19,000 mark at 19,163. Tan Sri Dr. Noor Hisham added that the current number of COVID-19 patients being treated in intensive care units ICU stands at 904, with 430 of them needing to be intubated. There were also 35 new clusters reported nationwide. Coming up next, no one will be left behind during COVID-19 pandemic. The government has provided and will continue to provide financial, employment or training incentives to ensure that no one is left behind during the COVID-19 pandemic, while at the same time make plans to exit the health crisis. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob said the commitment is to increase opportunities, provide room for job seekers to fend for themselves and continue to be productive. In his address at the closing of the International Public Employment Forum IPEF 2021, read out by Human Resource Minister Datuk Seri M. Saravanan, the Premier said it remains his commitment that the country's recovery from this pandemic will be all-encompassing and inclusive.
I also believe that several short and long-term measures need to be taken to accelerate the transformation in the labour market. To all Malaysian job seekers who are attending virtual job interviews at the My Future Jobs Career Fair, I wish them all the best and good luck.
Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri noted that the expansion of an inclusive active labour market should include a reintegration strategy, as it is an important part of any initiative that sought to protect social security protection. Held virtually today, IPEF 2021 was the first international forum on public employment services hosted by the country since Malaysia became a member of the World Association of Public Employment Services WAPES through the Social Security Organisation SOCSO in 2018. The government will specifically look into job and income recovery in Budget 2022, as well as strengthening social protection through focused assistance in an effort to build socio-economic resilience. At a virtual session of Budget 2022 consultation, Finance Minister Tengku Datuk Seri Zafrul Tunku Abdul Aziz also highlighted the government's focus on structural reforms, including closer collaboration with civil society organisations, CSOs, as the government's delivery partner to achieve goals outlined in the National Recovery Plan and Budget 2022. Elaborating further, Tengku Datuk Seri Zafrul said this is also in line with the government's longer-term aspirations outlined in the 12th Malaysia Plan and the Shared Prosperity Vision 2030. He said the government remains committed to helping those in need, particularly the rakyat who are still affected by the COVID-19 crisis. He also said that the government would be keen to hear how they can reach out to segments of society in ways that are more effective, innovative and more customized to the specific needs of communities. The dialogue session, organised by Yayasan Hasanah, the Foundation of Khazanah Nasional Berhad, was held between the Minister of Finance and representatives of CSOs and social enterprises to outline key budget recommendations to strengthen the delivery of social assistance programs. CSOs have been identified as key development partners of the government to enable faster and more sustainable socio-economic recovery. The government will ensure that people's infrastructure projects such as the East Coast Rail Link ECRL, Johor Bahru Singapore Rapid Transit System RTS and Mass Rapid Transit Line 3 MRT3 can be fully developed to bring more economic benefits to the nation. Transport Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Wee Ka Siong said the government always listens to the voices of all quarters and strives to achieve a balance between health, society and the economy through a 2022 budget that was comprehensive and inclusive. In a Facebook post, he said this was in line with the Keluarga Malaysia concept to bring benefits to the country and the people. The minister said he is of the view that society must also be prepared to live with COVID-19 in the future because the pandemic has changed the people's daily lives, numerous industrial ecosystems and development trends. As such, he said, the government will continue to monitor the development of the market, implement foreign investor-friendly policies and help in the revival and stimulation of local industries. The National Film Development Corporation Malaysia FINAS has been called to play a bigger role in protecting the well-being of the local film industry players. Minister of Communication and Multimedia Tan Sri Anwar Musa in a tweet today said he made the call during his discussion with FINAS yesterday. He added FINAS also needs to reinvent its image as the leading agency in the development of the national film industry. Meanwhile, Tan Sri Anwar also said that 11,460 workers of production companies which were granted with FINAS Digital Content Fund will receive SOCSO's Self-Employment Social Security Scheme protection made possible through the Production Crew Contribution Initiative under the National People's Wellbeing and Economic Recovery Package, Pemulih. Indonesian ambassador to Malaysia, Hermono, is optimistic that the new cabinet lineup led by Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob would further enhance the Indonesia-Malaysia bilateral relations. He said the Indonesian embassy hopes that the new government could improve the existing cooperation apart from solving various arising issues between both countries.
Kita berharap dengan telah dibentuknya pemerintahan Malaysia yang baru ini tentu kita akan lebih meningkatkan kerjasama kedua negara, terutama juga termasuk menyelesaikan berbagai persoalan kedua negara, masalah pekerja migran Indonesia, masalah perbatasan dan lain-lain.
Hermono also hoped that Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri would choose to visit Indonesia for his first official working visit to a foreign country. He said he had already informed the matter to Foreign Minister Datuk Saifuddin Abdullah. A contract supervisor who sought donations from the public by falsely claiming that his family members have died of COVID-19 was sentenced to 3 years imprisonment, fined 16,000 ringgit and given 2 strokes of the cane by the Kota Tinggi Magistrates Court. Muhammad Zahazan Zainon, 45, pleaded guilty to 2 charges before Magistrate Nur Madiana Mamad. In the first charge, he cheated a 34-year-old woman by giving her false information that his family members have died of COVID-19 and asked for a donation at the Pengerang Integrated Complex Security Unit office in Kota Tinggi. The incident took place between 5:20 p.m. and 9:25 p.m. on 3rd September, where the victim sent over 7,000 ringgit into Muhammad Zahanun's bank account. In the second charge, the suspect committed an offence by asking for a donation with a similar story from a 38-year-old woman who gave him 500 ringgit at around 6:34 p.m. on 3rd September. Muhammad Zahazan, who was represented by lawyer Nurul Hidayah Muhammad Asri, pleaded for a lighter sentence, citing that he has 4 children to take care of from his previous marriage. Deputy Public Prosecutor Nur Shamim Fatihah Muhammad Amin said the case was a public interest and the accused should be given a heavy punishment as lesson. The charges were framed under Section 420 of the Penal Code. Coming up in sports, KBS proposes relaxation for gyms to operate. The Ministry of Youth and Sports KBS has proposed that sport premises such as field and gymnasium to be given permission to operate. Its Minister Datuk Seri Ahmad Faizal Azumu said it will not only help the operators and trainers affected by closure throughout the MCO period, but would also help athletes to maintain their shape. Datuk Seri Ahmad Faizal said he hoped that the Health Ministry and National Security Council MKN would support and approve his proposal.
Golongan yang dalam sukan begini, jika lapse latihan dalam satu jangka masa yang terlalu panjang, apa yang telah mereka buat selama ini boleh jadi hilang tau. Jadi saya merayu sangatlah agar, dan ramai juga rakyat memikirkan bahawa ini adalah kuasa Kementerian Belia dan Sukan untuk membenarkan pembukaan permainan sukan outdoor, gimnasium dan sebagainya. Tidak, ianya semua tertakluk kepada akta MKN dan hanya MKN boleh memberi kebenaran.
He said this during a visit at a person with disabilities drive-through vaccination centre PPV at Larkin Aquatic Arena in Johor Bahru. Alright, so that's it from us this evening. In our top story, Klang Valley to enter phase 2 on Friday. Join us for updates at noon at 12:30 tomorrow. I'm Shuhaida Arifin. Thank you for watching.